scored this little baby cradle on Facebook Marketplace for only 20 bucks. And I'm super stoked about it because not only do I get to demonstrate using BB Frösch and a paint sprayer, but my sister just had her baby, which is my first niece. So I'm really, really pumped to be able to paint this and use this in her little baby nursery. So the supplies that I'm gonna use today are, I'm gonna have paint, and I'm gonna paint this one in Benjamin Moore Pale Navy is the color, but you can see I did a bare color match. So what's awesome about BB Frösch is you can use any brand, any color to make up your own chalk paint. So my paint is here. Of course I'm gonna have my BB Frösch paint transformer, my paint sprayer, a cleaning material just to clean my piece, any household cleaner will do, paint strainer, this little doohickey paint pourer to pour my paint into my paint sprayer, and I'll show how I do that. Water, tablespoon, mixing whisk, and my paint can opener. And also I do recommend making sure you have a really cute dog nearby. Now we say you don't have to sand your piece ahead of time, and you typically don't. That would be our cow mooing in the background. So we are outside my backyard today. But this piece was left outside and got kind of weathered. So there's a couple peely areas that I am gonna go ahead and scuff with just a 220 grit sandpaper. And once again, you don't have to sand the whole piece, just those areas that might be a little bit rougher. Seriously, just gonna go like this across my whole piece. Okay, I'm ready to start cleaning my piece, so any household cleaner will do, and a paper towel. Just give it a good clean, make sure to get all these spindles. As you can see, a lot of dust can gather really easily in these types of pieces. So just clean your piece and then you are ready to start painting. I'm ready to mix up my paint to go in my sprayer. The reason that I'm adding BB Frösch paint transformer is so that I don't have to sand, prime, or strip my whole piece of furniture before getting started. This works awesome in a sprayer. I've done it hundreds of times and always love how it turns out. I'm gonna mix up about a half a quart, which is about 16 ounces of paint. So I'm gonna use about 4 heaping tablespoons of powder. And again, the powder is what helps your paint bond to your piece of furniture. What's really awesome about this is it's not super scientific. So if you feel like you have a little bit too much powder, you can add more water and vice versa. You're just after first a donut glaze consistency. That would be for painting most of your furniture. Now in a sprayer, you do want it a little bit thinner. So I'm gonna start with twice as much water. And I'll show you how to tell. We are gonna run the paint through the viscosity cup once everything's mixed together. You see that? So it's okay if it's a little bit runny. You do want this to be runnier than normal because it's in a sprayer. So like I said, we're usually after a donut glaze consistency for most pieces of furniture, but when we use it in a sprayer, we do want it a little bit watery. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my paint. Make sure it's shaken up. I'm gonna fill this about halfway. There are lines on the side that you can follow too. So you want to mix this up. Then what you're going to do is run your paint through the viscosity cup. Now to make sure it's right for the sprayer, you want it to be mixed. You want the paint to run through the sprayer at approximately 30 to 35 seconds. Just like this. So you're going to start timing this and make sure this is 30 to 35 seconds. My paint is all mixed and I'm ready to get going. One of the reasons that I'm using a sprayer on this piece is because it's really spindly and a brush would take forever to get in all these little nooks and crannies. So a sprayer is really nice for pieces like this. So once everything's mixed, some pro tips are whatever direction you're painting, that's the way you want to make sure your nozzle is going. So if I'm going to paint up and down, you want your nozzle to go up and down, side to side, you want it this direction. Another thing I suggest is paint off your piece first. Make sure your paint is flowing smoothly through your sprayer so that you're ready to go. Now I am ready to get started and I'm very excited about this. Okay, I have it up and down because I'm going to start up and down. Always start off your piece and finish off your piece so that you don't get clumpy in areas. Also, make sure you're the same distance all the way across your whole entire piece, no matter what angle you're painting from. So I'm going to be about 10 inches away. Perfect. You also want to make sure your first coat is really, really thin. This is your bonding coat. This is what ensures the paint bonds to your piece. Let this be really thin, let it dry before coming back to do your second coat. Another thing I recommend doing, if able to, flip your furniture upside down. Because you can see once I flipped it, there's a whole bunch of spots that you can't even see. So definitely flip it on its side, flip it upside down to get some of those crazy angles that you can't see if it were upright. Also, my paint dried so quickly. I am ready to do my second coat, so here we go. I've painted my second coat. There's only a couple little nooks and crannies that I want to get a little bit better, but I am so happy with the coverage and the result. This is awesome. I am still going to seal it, and I will be using that poly in my sprayer as well. So I'll demonstrate that in just 1 second. I just quickly wanted to talk about overspray. Using a sprayer is awesome, but it can get a lot of overspray. So if you don't have a big backyard to be able to spray in, you have options. You can do it in your garage in a spray shelter. You can also do it just in your driveway. Just make sure you prep the area ahead of time. Make sure you have drop cloths, make sure you have plastic, because spray can get places and it's hard to see. This cradle is painted, it's dry, and I am ready to seal my hard work. I'm just going to use this sealant. You can use any water-based poly. You could even seal this with our premium finishing clear wax if you wanted to. I just like the poly because I can spray it really easily, and it's super, super durable for kids playing on it, potentially climbing in and out of it. So I just use this one. I got it at Home Depot. It was in the clearance bin, but any water-based poly will work. So what's really nice about this is I don't have to water it down at all. So I'm just gonna pour directly into my hopper and start going.